Hello, this is Taylor. This is going to be a video tutorial about some aspects of using Unreal Engine. I'm going to go over 3 different things that I have learned through mostly Reddit that have been immensely helpful. And the first thing I'm going to show you, I'll show you with an example of what I'm talking about. So, let's see, where can I do it? I want to find a window I can jump through. There's a window right down here. Okay, so I cut these window holes out of the wall. Now, originally, any players that you have are going to be running into that wall, and they are going to just keep bumping into the wall whether or not there's actually something in there. And I'm going to show you how to fix that and not just play my game. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to select the actual wall itself. It takes a couple times of right-clicking it before you can browse to asset. When you browse to asset, you're going to come down here into the content folder and find it. You're going to double-click it from here. This is going to bring up a lot more options to modify the static mesh. And this is it's kind of like the details tab in the main engine, except you have way more options for playing around with the different properties and stuff in here. And the property that's going to let you jump through it after you edit it is going to be right here, collision complexity. Again, you have to look for it. I usually recommend just searching it in here. Collision complexity. And we want to use complex collision as simple. What that's going to do, you know what? Let's see if I can switch it up and let's see if it undoes the pass-through ability of it. Haha. Yeah. So when you punch holes through something, you need to make sure that you adjust the complex collision or the collision complexity. It needs to view view complex as simple. Now, personally, I think they have that backwards. I think that it's much more complex to have it as a barrier like this rather than, let light pass through it. I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of preference. I could see how you could argue that it is more complex. I could see how you could see it is more complex to have it not be what it's like, but whatever. That's a matter of preference. There we go. I'm going to use complex collision as simple. Apply. There we go. The next thing I wanted to show you is this elevator right here. And I'm going to actually do it through there. Now, this is getting into the blueprint editor, and while you might not be someone that is down with messing around with scripting and code and stuff, it is, I'm going to say, barely code, because it is drag and drop, and pretty much everything does what you want it to do right on the label. So it's it is 100% a great introduction to code as far as I'm aware. The code I'm used to is learning different pieces of the language and then typing it. And the more minute, script code you learn, the more in-depth you can get with what you wanted to do. And this elevator was a real nightmare for me because I forgot about this function called flip-flop. So a quick rundown about how this works. Basically, when you load up the game, it's going to do whatever the event begin play is. So the first thing that we're going to do with this elevator is we are going to set the location of where it starts. This is called start. So you set start wherever the elevator is. It's going to look at its location. It's going to call that start, and then it's going to do this custom event called go up. Now when it goes up, it's going to play this timeline. This timeline is very simple. It starts at 0, it goes to 3 in a matter of 5 seconds. That's all you need to know about the timeline. It's going to play the timeline, and as like every frame, every tick of it, it's going to update the actor location somewhere between start and end. And end is here, you know what? Let's just close out end. Go to the details. So you see start is 0000. This, where it's at right now, is not 0000. That's the whole point of when you go into the blueprint. The first thing it does is it records where it's at, and that is going to be the new start. But the end, I had to actually like drag this elevator up to right there and copy and paste those locations. So the end is very specific. Start, it records the start by itself. So anyway, every tick of the timeline for 5 seconds between 1 and 3, it is going to find the average, like find the smoothest transition from its starting location to its ending location. And that's going to be, where it goes in that time frame. If I were to adjust this timeline, if I were to make it longer, or hold on a second, never mind. I was lying about it going up to 3. It goes from 0 to 1 over a course of 5 seconds. That's right. I was confused by the 3 right there. Basically, it's 0 to 100% over the course of 5 seconds. That's what the timeline is doing. Now, anyway, when it's finished, it's going to flip-flop. It's going to wait 3 seconds, and it's going to either go up or go down. What this flip-flop does is it's like a light switch that goes up and down. So when it's finished, it's going to go down. Hence, When it's finished, it's going to go down. And then it's going to flip, and then it's going to go up. Hence, a light switch going up and down. And the go down is another custom event that just plays the timeline reversed. That is the elevator in a nutshell. This is a code that I will be copying and pasting for as long as I'm using Unreal Engine, because this should not have been as much of a headache as it was for me until I went back and watched a bunch of Hugh Henry videos and I forgot all about the flip-flop function, which I believe is absolutely mandatory for making an elevator. Because I've tried every which way that wasn't that, and let me tell you, none of them worked like an actual elevator. Flip-flop is the key. The third thing I wanted to show you that was driving me crazy, and boy, I really hope I can remember how to do it, because it took a lot of messing around. So, bush, right there. We have lots of bushes. You can see in my window right here, there's like 24 bushes. For a long time, while these bushes were out, and I say a long time as in 2 playthroughs, 2 play tests that I did. The player, I just told him, like, the bushes are not going to be like that forever. I just need to figure out how to fix it. Sorry. What that fix was the bushes were collision presets right here. I had them as overlap all, and I think it was overlap all. Let's see. Basically what was happening was you would go into the bush and it had like an invisible wall around it. Now I edited that one bush in particular. These bushes are so nice being able to just walk through them again. Anyway, what needs to be done with this is a really quick thing, but I wish somebody had showed me it before. It needs to be on no collision. I don't remember what the default was before, but no collision is pretty self-explanatory. But I had originally tried with this bush, browse to asset. I thought it was going to be another thing in the browse through asset video where I had to go down and find the collision complexity. Collision complexity. It's project default right now. But because I found out that it needs to just be the collision preset, no collision. That was such a nightmare to find. Anyway, those are the 3 main things that I wish somebody had shown me in Unreal when I was making this level. The last one was pretty short, but the first 2 were, nightmares to figure out.
100 people at 1022. Have a good night.
Hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching.